her go too deep. Once you see that red line tracked onto you, she must go in. So we'll see how well Eddie can try to avoid that pressure from Skewmon, as G2 will pretty swiftly lock in their bottom lane combination with the Ezreal and the Bard.
So they want a bit of self-peel and range for themselves. The beauty of Ezreal in this composition is not only Cryo.
Okay,
That's not level 4 though.
Yeah, he's got the extra level advantage over Skewmon, and immediately, as soon as he sees the G2 jungler on the approach, goes in for the EQ combo. Lebrov on the way now. Histo's got to be a little bit careful here. Down to 200 HP, but he does not get stunned into the wall by the magical binding here just yet. Histo on the run. D-Ray's about to fall. BA reinforcing, trying to shield him up there with a battle dance. Over the wall goes Histo, but into the ground goes the mid laner. Top side, he is heading towards that direction as Pun summons up the Ornhorn, goes in for the stun on BrokenBlade, who flashes away from it. However, the second cast still lands on him as Histo is ready to keep this one going here with the Cataclysm. BrokenBlade tries to get away, but one more Dragon Strike seals his fate. Team Secret Whale.
He's not really giving it to them. We're finding a couple skirmishes, a couple small fights here and there, but Team Secret haven't really found the fights that they've been looking for. TP comes back through from Caps, the bot lane. Ooh, Lebrov, hang on a minute.
Yeah, Lebrov goes on a magical journey, but it might be a little bit too far. BA and Eddie now with some firing time onto Hans Sama. Lebrov stays alive, but only with 100 HP as Histo kills off Skewmon here from the top side. Pun going for the Ornhorn, knocks out BrokenBlade, but Caps might be able to find not just one kill, but maybe two. BrokenBlade about to die. Double kill over to Histo. Caps wants to get something back, and he's already found the kill on the D-Ray. Wants to get another one to Histo to recharge the Spirit Rush. Flashes over the wall. Has the Foxfire. Charge for the double kill. Caps with one more Spirit Rush.
The player that EU often puts their hope and faith in. He is the man that is represented us so well. Lebrov called out, no flash.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot committed here as they want to go ahead and use the Rakan ultimate. Lebrov does get knocked down. BA takes the kill.
Instead, they're being a little bit more tactical in their approach. The kills are in their favor, 4-3 after finding that extra pick onto Lebrov, and knowing that a fight around Dragon isn't going to happen, BrokenBlade just drops his ulti in the top lane to clear that wave out.
And I feel like that's something that comes to a lot of people.
While the gold is, I mean, the gold advantage is basically just sitting on Caps. That's what the gold difference is. And in terms of itemizations, it's not that significant. Oh, hang on a minute.
D-Ray does find himself in range of the buy ulti, but BA's trying to protect him. Skewmon ends up picking up the kill, and BA might be number 2. G2 brought more men to the party, and BA falls to the charm. Caps is on a rampage, and G2 is up 2,000 gold. Histo tries to get something back. He goes in for the EQ engage. Cataclysm to follow it up. That was a little bit audacious coming out from the Secret Whales jungler, but Lebrov has to flash away because the magical journey was misplaced. Now Skewmon taking a ton of damage from Eddie. His toe's very low. Hans Sama wants to get the kill. Eddie's underneath the enemy turret. He misses the rocket. Team Secret Whales, what are you doing? Caps!
Flash auto, and BrokenBlade flashes top.
Yeah, BrokenBlade flashing out of the way, also dodges the secondary knockup coming in from Pun, but now Between Worlds should be enough from D-Ray. They will secure the kill. Meanwhile, bottom side, BA's in trouble, and a last little bit of damage needs to find him to the Mystic Shot, and Hans Sama finds his second kill of the game. So even though Secret Whales find their mark up here in the top lane, they'll also get the first turret right after. G2 is going to respond with a kill of their own, as well as a turret take of their own down here in the bottom lane. Since Caps is on the split push, they've got the one Void Growth with a little bit of extra damage, and G2 remains 3,500 gold ahead. His toe does secure the Rift Herald, however, and that's honestly a pretty good
He's going to be committed from BrokenBlade.
Okay, he immediately arrives, but there's the Tempered Fate to stuff the engage. Pun gets the Ornhorn, but not on any value targets. BrokenBlade's in the middle of everybody, and the burst damage comes through. Team Secret Whales already found one kill, but now Pun is soaking a ton of damage. Skewmon takes him down. It's a 1-for-1 thus far. Lebrov wants to get away, but he misses his Cosmic Binding. A double kill over to D-Ray. A dunk from Histo. A triple kill for the mid laner of Team Secret.
He's into the face of Team Secret, right in the middle lane. Team Secret don't wait. D-Ray secures
the
that
twofold
one.
hex.
The triple kill comes through, and while that gold lead is still there for G2, it's dwindled. 3.4 before, 2.4 now after Caps secures Death Cap. He gets himself a Death Cap, and so the Dark Seal also stacking up for him. I'd be surprised if he goes for a Magi this late, Hans.
Okay, BA below half health. Histo flashes away. If that charm would have hit him, it would have been certain death as G2 forces down the tier 1 turret, but now D-Ray ready to get some damage here on Hans. Pun takes the kill, and the G2 AD carry is already down. D-Ray is low. Skewmon looking for a little bit more damage. Lebrov goes in and finds the kill on the enemy mid laner. Skewmon got to try to get away now as Histo looks for more damage. Eddie is incredibly low, and BrokenBlade on the flank. burns him down. Pun in the middle of 4 now, has to try to get back, capped at only 400 HP, as G2 have found yet another, and they just out-team fight Secret Whales.
A scrappy back into the action.
D-Ray with a quick burst on the caps there, about half the HP from the Ahri. Sidesteps away from the charm here too critically, but D-Ray also low now. One more charge on that Spirit Rush is enough for caps to be able to walk away. They don't want to overcommit onto the Ahri while he still has that. Meanwhile, BrokenBlade going for a teleport, and it's G2 looking for the counterpunch now. D-Ray low, his toe low, Hans Sama's the focus, but they can't find the Ezreal this time. BrokenBlade with a flame spitter, takes out the mid laner right afterwards, and G2 pick up once again. This is exactly what G2 want. Caps and LeBron can zone everybody else away. Skewmon, Hans, and BrokenBlade have plenty of damage to secure this objective. 6.5, still most of that EXP bar to go, but considering D-Ray is only level 13, 15 feels plenty good here on the Ahri as G2 now mounts a multi-lane assault. Bottom lane, it's Caps, Skewmon, and LeBron forcing the wave into the tier 3 turret. Meanwhile, back in mid, BrokenBlade dealing with the tier 2 at the same time. G2 4-1 split now with BrokenBlade in the mid lane, everyone else down here bottom. Team Secret.
It feels like that we already need to be thinking about game 2.
Yeah, this is real tough. I guess if you're looking for silver linings, if your team lanes, and now you can see the G2 pings going onto the tier 2 turret up there in the top side. They want to remove the last standing structure outside of the enemy base. His toe down to a quarter HP. He's going to have to go all the way back to base, but the Tempered Fate finds him in the middle of the EQ combo. His toe still tries to get away, but Caps says no. G2's already found 1 kill, and now they want more. Eddie uses the Valk over the wall, but Skewmon is ready to chase him. The Corki's under pressure, but Skewmon had gone too far. Never mind, he's doing all right. Pun drops and Skewmon survives. The triumph keeps him alive as D-Ray barely hobbles away here as well. LeBron, Skewmon, D-Ray all at death's door, but it's his toe and Pun, the only 2 who fall over his opponent. But it's all set on the gold graph right there. It's just pure red as G2 have absolute control over the game. Skewmon and Caps looking for Pun now, but the counterattack from Team Secret Whales is there. Tempered Fate to protect the G2 players. LeBron shows up and keeps Caps alive. Skewmon continues the pressure forward as Pun dies, covering the retreat. Team Secret Whales lose 2, and now it's a 5v3 push coming out from G2 down here in the bottom lane. Caps wants another charm, but he can't quite find it. Team Secret Whales, they're scrambling, trying to stay alive. Skewmon goes in, but he's pretty far forward. His Guardian Angel's going to protect him. He will res. They will not be able to secure the kill on that one, and it buys enough space, it buys enough time for G2 to take the tier 3 turret, take the inhibitor right after, and finally crack through the...
Be careful, but he's going to magical journey his way to safety.
Yeah, he only loses, what, 10% of his HP there, and then heals back most of it with the Caretaker Shrine. As Team Secret Whales, now they've given up the Baron. They continue retreating back towards their own base. 15 seconds on the Drake, and all G2 has to do is send a single player over there. You can secure the Ocean Soul for free, or maybe they don't even want to bother. Maybe they do not care. They would rather just 5-man press this mid lane right now as they go for the tier 3 turret. They should be able to find plenty of damage onto that one with the Baron Enchanted Cannon minion. Pun going for the Ornhorn. Tempered Fate onto Hans Sama to try to protect him from the follow-up engage from Team Secret Whales. Skewmon is into the back line. G2, Hans Sama's already down. Skewmon in a little bit of danger now as Team Secret Whales look for a little more damage, but Caps is already godlike. The Whales don't have the damage. G2's just stronger, and everybody's dropping except for Eddie as G2 get 4 for 1. Team Secret Whales, they'll throw everything in the kitchen sink at Hans Sama, and man, they'll get him, but at what cost? G2 marching on to the Nexus turrets now. LeBron goes on a magical journey through the Nexus, forces Eddie to flash back into his own fountain. He will barely survive the Ahri burst as G2 will march straight in. This game felt like theirs the whole way through. They were constantly finding opportunities, constantly counterpunching what Secret Whales brought to the table, and G2 take game 1.
22 blind because BrokenBlade, I mean, he has his own fair share of unique picks, and it looks like he's going to go with the Kled response.
Okay, I was really hoping we would get a game like this in this series, knowing that both of these top laners are willing to just pick wacky stuff.
Absolutely.
We're getting...
Yeah, and remember last game we talked a little bit about how Team Secret looking to be the successors of CFO, right? Yep. We talked about how for this team, it's a lot of kind of responsibility falls on their shoulders. Hang on, I have to interrupt Pun.
Yeah, it's a level 1 battle to the death here between the top laners as BrokenBlade flashes away and Pun with the undertow flash flash auto.
Himself first blood.
Ignite at level 1 only does like 50 damage. It's very hard to rely on it for a kill through a potion, even if that potion's healing is reduced. Beautifully done from Pun to secure that kill there in the solo lane.
Oh, it's a kill.
Caps might just get solo killed by D-Ray, and he lives! He lives with had to have been single-digit HP. Team Secret Wales, 2 minutes into the game, have secured double solo kills. All right, D-Ray, that was a greedy as hell back. Completely torpedo their entire game over this crab.
Good, sir. You're about to see it right now. Here we go. It looks like the crab is just too far away.
Yep, a Hex Flash coming in from BA. Immediate dredge line onto Skumon, who, remember, does not have level 6. There's no World Ender available, and D-Ray's coming in for what could be a perfect execution. Caps over the heroic entrance. Skumon still alive with 100 HP. D-Ray takes him out. LeBron very low. D-Ray tries to go back in, but he's going to 1-for-1 here with the enemy support. Hans is free firing, and Eddie gets a little bit of damage back. Both AD carries at death's door as Caps tries to become an alcove gamer. Winds of War take his toe very low. Justice Punch is not going to connect onto the enemy jungler. BA's now the one in trouble. He goes for the dredge line to buffer through the taunt as the Winds of War nearly kill Eddie, but close isn't close enough. LeBron is back in the mix. And
in the fight, the TP comes through, but it ends up being a win. Hang on, Misfortune just died.
Yeah, back to live, and we missed a kill.
Why is LeBron here?
Yeah,
what's he doing down there?
LeBron is deep behind enemy lines, killing the enemy AD carry. So, all right, we'll hopefully get a replay of that and see exactly what in the world happened, as you do see BrokenBlade maybe looking for a chance to make something happen in mid lane, trying to play around D-Ray, potentially being too aggressive. Grubs are going to spawn here in about 10 seconds as Caps finds himself trying to use the taunt to get away here, but a beautiful arrow coming in from Hans, and now what could have been a good play, all of a sudden turns around. Skumon picks up the kill on the enemy mid laner. Yes, his toe gets one back, but he's going to die here too. G2 get a 2-for-1, and the enemy jungler, oh my, he has to die. There's no way he gets away here. I refuse to believe it. I absolutely refuse to believe it. There is no way in the world he gets away.
He's getting away. He's going to execute.
There's no way.
He's going to execute.
There's the timer.
That's enough time. That's enough. He's done it.
He's called the pack a little bit. No shot. His toe. I stand corrected. A 1-for-1 at the end of the trade. Hansama now, though, targeted by the depth charge, but a TP comes in to reinforce G2. BA's on the run, but the constant slow from Hans makes it difficult. Nice job from LeBron getting in the way of the dredge line. There's no escape for BA. They give the kill over to Hans, and G2
gold lead in the top lane. A 25 CS lead. Akali, 870 gold. Team Secret Wales have their carries. They have the people that we're looking at to run rampant in this game, and it's going to have to be these solo laners that step up to deliver us a game through with a
BrokenBlade and Caps, as they will now also head towards the bottom side of the map. Eddie and BA in some trouble. Eddie's your first target, obviously. Misfortune's already down, and BA should be easy pickings afterwards. G2, they sent the whole... Far harder for G2 to find a way to get to the enemy nexus, as Skumon will secure that second Drake of the game. Still looking really good for Pun, but meanwhile down here in the bottom lane, D-Ray could be in some trouble. Smoke screen going to protect him, still takes the damage from the third strike of the Darkened Blade, as Eddie in danger, forced to flash away, but the flash follow from Lebrov means that G2's bot...
Freljord coming up clutch as the TP now committed by Pun.
Okay, there's your Olaf, the full Ragnarok dive onto the Ashe. Ashe stays safe by kiting, but you cannot kite away from an Olaf in ulti. Hans does do some fancy footwork there, being able to vision juke him through the brush. Pun has now lost the Ragnarok, and G2's going in for the counterattack. Skumon wants to burst down the Fed. Olaf, and BrokenBlade falls. Hans Summer's unstoppable. BA dies alongside his top laner, and Eddie and his toe try to escape. Could not continue, so G2 with a 3,000 gold lead. Hans' individual lead is tied up with the actual...
those individual playmaking power that a lot of this comp does have.
All right, Pun versus BrokenBlade, the next episode. But BrokenBlade, he's still just fine. And honestly, I feel like there's sort of a feeling of relief for BrokenBlade, because when you're a Kled and you're super far behind, you feel like you're telling your team, I'm sorry guys, I won't be able to dive the enemy AD carry. I just don't have the power budget. And they're like, it's okay, the enemy AD carry doesn't exist. He's further behind than you are. So you're kind of just okay with it, right? As long as you don't chain dying or something. And honestly, BrokenBlade has still only died the one time. The biggest thing is he's 0-1-0, so he hasn't hasn't been able to participate in any of the kills either, but now they might be able to change that as they immediately find the counterpunch onto Pun. BrokenBlade stays alive for now, tries to escape from his toe, but then Fury makes it a 1-for-1 trade. Problem is, Skumon's way stronger in this 1v1 afterwards. The arrow flies through, his toe sidesteps, it gets away for now, does stay alive. Second Kaza the Hound's pursuit, and he wants to re-enter the fight. Immediately rethinks it though, continues his retreat back towards the tier 2 turret. So even though we get a trade of top laners, again, it's the Olaf that's been ahead the entire game, being traded for the Kled that's permanently behind. Caps versus D-Ray here on the top side. Flash into the brush from both. Caps with the Winds of War. Perfect execution from D-Ray. They're both so very low. Caps waiting to see if D-Ray overplays his hand, but it will not happen. So a close fight, but nobody dies. Problem for Team Secret Whales is G2 is looking for Soul Point, and they've already secured it, but the Whales have decided they want to fight. Teleports coming in from everybody. Hansama going to be under pressure. Pun and his toe have found the enemy carry, and now Skumon's got to try to do something, but he does not have the World Ender from the previous fight. BA dies to Caps as G2's now found in the taunt. A lot of damage as his toe takes out Skumon. Now Team Secret Whales need to find more. Caps falls too. LeBron's going to die next. G2 crashed the car straight into the ditch. It is a disaster with the Dragon. The ammo to take him down.
My goodness, Team Secret, they fight back.
A lot as we go forward. One more Dragon means Hextech Soul for the European team.
He's dead.
Which a massive power spike. BrokenBlade though with a remount. And that's the danger of Kled. He can bait you into very, very dishonest situations with that remount. As you can see, our lane economy snapshot here showing the top side of the map is all Team Secret Whales, but the bottom side is still G2. BrokenBlade wants his kill onto Pun. Bear trap on a rope, and he's caught him.
Solo in the top lane, securing a tower for himself, getting a little bit of gold back into his pocket. And Eddie, he wanted to push out
15 seconds away as everybody from both sides is preparing for a fight. Pun has gone through the Hex Gate. Lebrov is your target here at the start. Pun is already Ragnarok. He wants to go in after Hansama, but they're just going to burst the Olaf down. Bullet time flying in over the top, but it's not hitting anybody of major value. Lebrov with the flashback over the wall. His toe's unstoppable. D-Ray tries to get away, but the Akali is getting focused. Skumon and BrokenBlade looking for something, but Hans is already down. Skumon running out of World Ender as his toe also has to be careful. You can't lose your jungler here. You've got to make sure you maintain Dragon control. Meanwhile, keep your eyes on D-Ray. He's going back to the base, but he has the Unleashed TP ready to rejoin. Eddie with the flash for the kill onto Skumon. G2 is dying again. Remount comes in from BrokenBlade, but he can't hit Eddie here with the bear trap on the rope. The damage comes through. Eddie lives. Team Secret Whales eat him alive.
They find an ace against G2. The gold lead just doesn't matter to them. And I genuinely thought that Pun had driven way too deep into the back line. He dies so quickly with the numbers advantage. I'm thinking to myself, oh, G2's just going to clean up this fight, get Soul, and get this game. But Team Secret, and his toe in particular, finds the target. So much at the back of that. D-Ray now isolated in top lane.
Yep, trying to get away. Nice use of the smoke to dodge the aggro there from
top side for Team Secret. If he could get the death cap before the fight, he would be even happier, but I think he's a ways away from it. There's a bit of a skirmish is happening.
Yeah, top side, we've got a 1v1 between our mid laners, and Caps is winning it handedly. D-Ray down to about a quarter HP. Now Pun's got to be careful to not get caught by anything else. Enchanted Crystal Arrow misses, goes right through the uprights there, aiming for anybody on Team Secret Whales. As now the 4v4 really starts to break out. TP coming in from both mid laners. Bullet time getting a ton of value though from Eddie, as Pun has to try to get away. Lebrov is almost dead, and so is BrokenBlade. D-Ray makes his way into the fight as his toe jumps back over the wall at the chicken pit. See Dark and Daggers flying out from his toe as the re-engage comes through from BrokenBlade. Caps gets the kill there with a taunt as D-Ray jumps into the fight, hiding in the smoke now with a heroic entrance. Very much on the edge is D-Ray as G2 tries to get away. Perfect execution going for the kills as Eddie's already found one. Skumon dies, double kill back over to Misfortune. It's a bloodbath here in this 5v5 battle. It's two dead on either side.
I'm genuinely shocked that Team Secret was able to make that fight work, because the start of the fight looked horrendous, but Pun was able to get back to base, TP back into the fight, back through from Pun. He rejoins. Oh, we're back in the action.
Yeah, we're already back into the fight as LeBron's in the middle of everybody. Loses half HP. D-Ray on the flank looking for an opportunity. His toe call of the pack, dodging away from some of the CC, but now they're bursting down Skumon. Aatrox is already out of the picture, but it's a 1-for-1 as D-Ray dies. Hansama taking the kill, but his toe finishes off LeBron. BrokenBlade is targeted, flashes away, staying alive for now, but the bullet time over the top nearly kills him. Hansama trying to escape as Caps kills Pun. His toe wants a little bit more, but G2 is kiting back, and G2 has the Baron down to half HP. Team Secret Whale trying to stop it. Baron getting burned very low. It's secured by BrokenBlade of all people, as now a beautiful arrow connects on the BA, but into the back line. Keep your eyes on D-Ray. His toe tries to jump in. Call the pack keeps him alive for now. He tries to get away, but he's down. D-Ray dies too. G2 get the Baron, and 2 incredible picks. Now it'll be 3. A double kill for Skewmon, and it's now a 5v2. This game balanced on a razor's edge, and it's G2 that find the winning cut.
For the entirety of this game, it was Team Secret that was faster at pulling off the fight. G2 felt like they were always on the back foot, but G2 were the ones deciding to start off that Baron. They successfully protect their AD carry, they secure the Baron, they secure the fight, and they may be looking to end the game.
The Samurai find the lethal strike, and Team Secret Whales are now left bleeding. The Nexus turrets out of the picture, the Nexus exposed. Eddie just trying to get back to the safety of the fountain, but it will not matter. G2 go up 2-0.
Team Secret came so close so many times.
In the middle of a fight, he can steal Wild Growth to use it on himself. Again, more durability. Jax locked in, though, for Pun in the top lane. And the answer from BrokenBlade is the Shen.
We got to see this from BrokenBlade in the LEC versus finals.
Back in draft, it's not about the Shen being a counter pick into Jax, where you're saying, yes, I'm going to destroy him in the 1v1 and win the lane, and especially not if Pun goes in like this. Flash from both top laners. BrokenBlade trying to stay alive for now. Pun continues the chase. Leap strike with the Empower. It's a solo kill.
And the wave is horrible, by the way, because it was stacked up right underneath this tower. It's now in a horrible position. D-Ray's made his way bot.
Yeah, D-Ray going in after Hans, who flashes forward. Hans knows he's going to die, and he wanted to make it a 1-for-1, but D-Ray denies it. Vedius in game number 2. We saw it start like this, and game number 3 is going to be the same way. His toe in the top lane. They give the kill over to Pun. Game number is try to look for a big clutch play through Stand United. Bait them into a bad situation. Use the Shen to turn it around, because BrokenBlade's not going to win this game.
Look at the way they're playing. Dominance across the board. The top lane, the middle lane, the bottom lane. Every single individual finding plays. But now it's G2's turn.
Yeah, Pun goes for the counter strike here. Wants to try to buy a little bit of time as his toe shows up, but Pun is going to drop. That's a shutdown going over to BrokenBlade for some much needed relief as the gold lead between himself and his jungler, so the counter strike couldn't stun both of them. Meanwhile, Caps uses the shovel to knock D-Ray back into the turret, but then he steals it away and shuffles Caps backwards. But here's Stand United. This is what I was talking about, Vedius. This is how Shen gets back there onto Lebrov, as D-Ray tries to join him here, but he misses the abduct. There's the death sentence also going wide. Team Secret Whales really wanting to commit to this. Skewmon using the subjugate to try to stay alive, but can the drain keep him going? No, D-Ray takes the kill, but now BA's in trouble as Hans summon Lebrov looking for a little bit more damage onto him, but Eddie shows up here into the fight now as D-Ray has to get away from Caps. Flash over the wall from BA, Hans ready to follow. BA wants to try to kill him, and the thresh takes him out as D-Ray gets the kill to Caps. Now he's gonna find another on Lebrov, and Team
Just keep those right clicks going, and they're able to make it work. 2.2k the gold lead. Dragon now 18 seconds away. Team Secret, first time in this series they got first dragon of the game, and they are set up beautifully to get themselves another one.
And especially when that first dragon is an Ocean Drake, when we're still in the laning phase, the extra regeneration that offers can actually go quite a long way in these extended situations where it's small trade, wait 30 seconds, go back in, small trade. So Team Secret really feeling good about this one. G2's got to recalibrate. Patience. Patience is the name of the game. Scale, 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 and then scale a little bit more.
Absolutely.
You've got the Azir with a Yunara and a Lulu and a Trundle, and they are going to have to find a way to make this game go further, because it's now a 2,500 gold lead for Team Secret Whales. D-Ray stealing away the Azir ulti to try to buy enough time to get himself out of this one. Skewmon, though, already has him subjugated. D-Ray is on the run. This is going to be a big shutdown if G2 can secure it.
Boy.
He is running away real quick. Skewmon does not have any ranged damage. However, he could still throw out a pillar. D-Ray just wants to execute. Abscond over the wall.
He's gone, mate.
Skewmon is trying to chase him. D-Ray's still on the run.
D-Ray, run.
He's just trying to... Is he going to actually try to escape? There's no way he tries. He wants to potentially turn it around. This is crazy mode. Flashes over the wall, but Skewmon just walks through the gate. And it ends up being a play from D-Ray that was audacious, but it gets punished.
I mean, I loved it from D-Ray. I loved the fact that he was ready and said, you know, I think I can take this. I'll take this fight against the Trundle. BrokenBlade has to commit his ulti, which means that he's then forced to TP back to top lane. Pun, though. Yeah, he overstayed his welcome.
BrokenBlade TP's back to a Pun that is very low health and completely out of mana. BrokenBlade is now, though, met with his toe, and that's a Mundo. Pun tries to get out, but BrokenBlade knocks him down. Surely the Shen will fall here, but he has already taken one with him. His toe has the... Does he have the red buff on the Mundo? I can't see under the brushes. No, he doesn't. Okay, BrokenBlade, honestly.
Now he's close to level 11, and the game is in a very interesting spot, Caps. You gotta be careful there, bro.
Yeah, D-Ray just jumps in after him, nearly gets the solo kill, but now Skewmon wants to get one back. It's Subjugate for Subjugate, and this time, it's not good enough to keep D-Ray alive.
You have to be most wary of the Jax, I feel. That Trinity Force being finished is a scary thing to be looking at, as Cap's in a lot of danger.
Yep, does get stunned up by the counter-strike, but here comes Stand United. This one could get messy. D-Ray is already ready to jump in, though. He's got the Stand United of his own, but he might just drop to BrokenBlade. One more auto attack's gonna do it, but he gets pulled away to safety. Pun now also very low, but a nice death sentence coming up from BA. The MVP of this fight is the Thresh, as BrokenBlade almost dies, but he still gets away. You gotta be kidding me. Nobody died on either side?
HP bars were blinking. The TP back, he's back in!
We're not done. D-Ray's coming back around. He sees all these low health bars and he will not allow them to escape. He wants to go after the Trundle. He needs to get the abduct and he lands it. Skewmon is down and that's the enemy jungler. So now Team Secret Whales will go after the Rift Herald. This series is delivered. I know that G2's up 2-0, but we are getting some crazy gameplay on the Rift, Edius.
Love the use of the TP once again from D-Ray. This man is what I would describe as fight-focused.
Okay.
Because in the midst of that fight, he is thinking about, how do I get back into the fight? And with that TP available, and it ends up being a nice pickup with the Herald as well.
Yeah, they secure the Herald after the fight, but you can see here in the picture-in-picture, it is G2 going after the Dragon themselves. They'll secure that one, but they've got to make sure they can escape afterwards. Okay, so soul stacking is stopped. Your Coinbase gold grind popping up right now, talking about our AD carries. Remember, we'll be looking at them more and more as the clock ticks forward, considering these are both hyper carries. But we have what could be a dive here as his toe. Okay, his toe should have gave somebody else the keys. He was not fit for driving. He had a little bit too much Mundo juice, and that was just not the play he wanted.
Yeah, I mean,
nope.
So I've seen a play like that before, where they missed, but they got a knock up and it turned into a crazy play. And so I thought, okay, maybe there's something that I don't see. Maybe his toe has a play in mind, a line that I just can't comprehend, and I still don't comprehend it. As Skewmon now goes to top lane.
Yeah, we can see Pun looking for the solo kill into BrokenBlade, but you can't go for solo kills against Skewmon. He is just about 20 minutes into the game, 30 seconds on the clock until Baron spawns. And remember back to game number 1, where G2 were completely dominant. They secured the Baron 21 minutes into the game. Both top laners really committing once again for those damage bars like we were talking about. Pun hits the counter-strike, a little bit more damage. You might kill him, no, BrokenBlade! With the out.
He is. Oh, he was so close. We're back in the action.
We're already back into the action now as his toes down to half HP. Skewmon in the middle of everybody, but he's already got the wild growth staying alive for now. Pun looking to pressure into the back line as Skewmon is down to 100 HP, but Skewmon stays alive and Pun's the one who dies. BrokenBlade is dominating as D-Ray gets shuffled into the middle of the fight, but Caps and D-Ray both die. Now it's a double kill back over to BrokenBlade as he looks for Eddie. Got to be a little bit careful though. The Gravitum is ready to go. BA with the flash over the wall as BrokenBlade still your target. Skewmon coming in here for the chomp. Looks for Eddie and they got him. G2 taking even more of the fight. Skewmon is unafraid of his toe. He continues looking for more as Hansama picks up BA, and G2 gets themselves an ace for one. Dusk and Dawn completed, so...
We did this in the finals as well. And I mean, it's
Pretty
working
strong
out for him in terms of the skirmishing power.
Yep, and G2 has also now eaten Hunter Bolts, which is so good on these ultimate reliant AD carries. But now that the tier 1 turret dies in the top lane, D-Ray finds himself overextended. His Toad's coming up to try to help him, but Mundo doesn't have any hard CC to assist in these situations, so Caps just picks up another kill. It's a 4,000 gold lead now for G2.
And I will say, I really do think that Skumon has been the quiet standout in this game. Through all of the chaos, he's provided that stability. He's saved his laners countless times, and now he's threatening the Baron as Team Secret is forced to respond.
All right, they've got no mid laner. They gotta figure out how to deal with this, but his Toad's already nearly killed, even as the Mundo. He stays alive a little bit longer, but he still dies at the end of the day, and Eddie falls next. Pun's in the middle of everyone, but that's not where he needs to be. He can't even get the kill on LeBron. The Lulu lives with 15 health. G2 are going to kill everybody except Lebrov, and now Skumon and Caps will two-man the Baron, while Hans Sama and Lebrov push that mid lane turret themselves. BrokenBlade just going to make sure that that wave stays pushed, making his way towards the tier 2. Hans moves over towards the Baron. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now once again a G2 game. Under in the lane. It is recovered wonderfully with the help of the team, and now G2, with their 8,000 gold lead, with their Baron buff for the next 2 minutes, are looking to form a split push threat. It's a 4-1 split with everybody except for BrokenBlade forcing their way into the base here in the bottom lane. The first inhibitor turret already gone. Yeah, nothing's stopping them. Pun is still split pushing in the top side. G2 have already found their first inhib, and you can see BrokenBlade walking all the way over there. Now he's going to answer Pun. Tier 2 turret is already down, but the Jax is afraid of the Shen. Even in open territory, no structure to protect him. Pun does not want anything to do with this Shen. Yeah, you can see how much damage he does just dashing in, getting the Dusk and Dog. Look at the damage! Shen is a true ninja, and he puts a dash.
I questioned his game. I did. You know, we criticized him for dying one. Oh, Eddie, you got it. Yeah, the flash was a wise
mandatory
choice.
Yep.
The BrokenBlade committing the TP, still has the ulti ready. I mean, G2 getting a lot of value out of this Baron. Tower is falling one after the other. They've set their sights on the next inhibitor towers. 4-1. Once again, the setup. Shen ready with the ult. Azir ulti stolen away.
All right, 30 seconds remain on the Baron. Teleports coming in now, though, for Team Secret Wales. This is their final send to try to save their game state. Cap taking a ton of damage from Pun, but his Toe and BA are also going to be knocked away from the fight. D-Ray in the middle of everybody, going golden here for a moment, trying to buy enough time, but Pun has run out of ammo, and Caps is able to fight him off all on his own. The Aphelios ulti doesn't find the result they're looking for. Meanwhile, Caps chasing after the enemy Jax. The arm guard will only buy him a moment. Stand United to guarantee that Caps wouldn't die there in the 1v1, and now that the enemy team has lost both solo lanes, G2 is looking to clean sweep the Vietnamese team. BA will not find a target with his death sentence. The Nexus turrets are about to crumble. First one's already down, and the top lane inhibitor will follow as Caps guarantees this one. Everybody left standing on Team Secret Wales just trying desperately to defend. BA hits a death sentence, but Hans is unfazed. One more auto attack might take him down. Meanwhile, at least Caps is removed by Eddie, but now G2 are onto the Nexus. The respawns coming in from the Wales will not matter. G2 trying to get a couple of extra kills on the way out, but they'll clean sweep Team Secret Wales.